With her, and he's the only man that hunts buffalo, and at the end, because she turns into buffalo, he might kill her.
Oh, that would be a twist. He's in love with her, but he's going to kill her?
And that's the moral explanation of nature, not to kill a buffalo, because it's like killing a big part of nature, because it's killing a big part.
Right here it says that I will be your wife, that she will be his wife.
Since the earliest schools, educators have encouraged classroom discussion to supplement learning of facts and skills. By providing opportunities for students to participate in thoughtful dialogue, educators promote analysis, reflection, and critical thinking abilities.
You're saying she could make her stop not to hunt for the
stop hunting buffalo.
Is he the kind of person who's going to listen?
Maybe. Because he's kind. She said he was kind.
Or maybe like they'll both get mad and he'll have to follow her. And at the end, she turns into a buffalo again. And maybe like her father's also a buffalo, so he tells him.
At several Southern California public schools where students transition into English instruction, teachers and university researchers are collaborating on strategies to facilitate more frequent and effective classroom discussions. Researchers have described the style of discussion-based lesson as an instructional conversation, or IC.
Instructional conversation provides an arena for giving students an opportunity to engage with teachers and with their peers in coming to some new understandings that maybe the teacher, him or herself, doesn't have. So there's much less of a direct transmission of knowledge and understanding, and much more an opportunity to construct understanding, to construct knowledge.
Why would she not want them to hunt the buffaloes?
She likes them too much.
She likes the buffaloes too much?
And maybe the man wants to kill the buffalo and she sacrificed her life for the buffalo.
Wow.
One of the things we've been interested in with instructional conversation is to create opportunities for students to engage in thoughtful, reflective discussions among themselves and with the teacher about texts that they're reading, stories that they're reading, ideas that are contained in those texts, and create sort of a model of instruction, or a model for helping teachers to guide children through these interactions.
Under the mushroom.
An IC is characterized by 10 specific elements, 5 of which are instructional in emphasis and 5 of which are conversational. The instructional elements are thematic focus, utilization of student background knowledge and experience, elicitation of more complex language and expression, promotion of bases for statements and positions, and direct teaching. The conversational elements are fewer known answer questions, responsiveness to student contributions, connected discourse, a challenging but non-threatening atmosphere, and self-selected turn-taking and less teacher talk.
Maybe the man wants to hunt the buffaloes, but the lady maybe tells the man not to hunt.
So a conflict between man and woman about hunting the buffalo. Why would she not want them to hunt the buffaloes?
She likes them too much.
She likes the buffaloes too much?
And maybe the man wants to kill the buffalo and she sacrificed her life for the buffalo.
Wow. I really like the way you're bringing in the ideas we've talked about and making some guesses about what's going to happen in the story. And I think they're excellent guesses.
Maybe the buffalo is the lady. And then when like he turns a little bit and he doesn't look, the buffalo turns into the lady again.
What gives you the idea that the buffalo could be the lady?
Because she's always with them.
Because you see her with the buffalo?
Title.
The title, Buffalo Woman. Okay, you guys are picking up on a lot of clues.
Given time to explore this story, students can practice thinking and talking about their ideas. With ample opportunities to express themselves, students bring their own experiences and knowledge to the discussion. Notice how the teacher challenges these fifth graders using open-ended questions to elicit ideas and language. Through this process, students assist each other in constructing new understandings.
The young man gave thanks to the buffalo and offered themselves.
A little different than what we had talked about might happen.
Yeah, the lady from the Buffalo Nation came. Yeah, she turns into a buffalo. She was a buffalo and she turns into a woman.
Do you guys think that's what happened?
Yeah.
How can you just accept that? Would that happen in our lives?
No.
What allows you to just know that that happened in this story?
Because it's a legend.
Because every legend happens like that, magical and
great.
And then back here,
This is a legend.
maybe she's doing that thing to turn into a buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is a legend.
Oh, I see.
This is a legend, and maybe they're teaching. Because legends, they always have an author's purpose.
Uh-huh.
Maybe this author's purpose is not to kill a buffalo, because at the end, they might kill her. She's a buffalo.
So you think that maybe the explanation of nature has something to do with man shouldn't kill buffalo?
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that? Could this be what it's about?
Yeah.
How would they show us that?
Because right here, it says the young man did not know whether he fell asleep or what happened, but when he looked again, the buffalo was not there. Instead, a beautiful young woman stepped from the weeds and onto the pebbles at the water's edge and took a drink.
Or maybe it wants to say that killing a buffalo is like killing a beautiful lady.
So it might be harder for him, you think, to kill a beautiful lady than to kill a buffalo? Well, how did he feel about this beautiful lady?
He loved her.
Okay. Is that believable to you?
Yeah.
Maybe he had respect.
Why would that be?
Because maybe he has respect for women and for men.
Not all IC elements need to be present in every IC lesson. However, several are essential to improving student participation. They are thematic focus, use of student background knowledge, elicitation of more complex language, fewer known answer questions, and a challenging but non-threatening atmosphere.
Now, if you take a look at Chapter 6 at the title is Friends. So what I'd like to know is some things about how would you describe a friend of yours?
Probably the element that has proven to be the most essential is the one of the thematic focus. To what extent is the discussion or conversation you're having with your students informed by some larger thematic goal or thematic understanding? To what extent are you engaging them in discussion that's moving somewhere, that has some sort of larger point or larger issue that you want to get on the table, as opposed to being a series of questions, answers, questions, answers, questions, answers that are, if the research in the past is any guide, are probably quite unconnected.
What do you say?
I think I can. I think I can.
What was the word that I wrote on the board the other day?
Believing.
Believing. Who did he believe in?
In himself.
He believed in himself, right. Would you say he was a good friend? What did he do that made him a good friend?
He helped the train
right.
over the mountain.
He helped the train. Tell me about your friends. Someone can tell me about who their friend is and what you do together. Joe?
My friend's Fred, and we always play together.
He comes and then he plays Game Boy with me.
So you play together and do things together? It begins with a theme. Mm-hmm. You have to pick a piece that you think that you can work the theme will be relevant to them and meaningful to them. And that's a hard one.
It can be very challenging to come upon the most appropriate level of questioning and the theme that's going to really relate to them, to be something that's within their experience, yet not boring to them, something that challenges their thinking.
Okay. Well, she'll turn into a buffalo. That way, the man won't know it's her.
If she becomes a buffalo, he wouldn't know her anymore?
Yeah, but what about the boy?
What about the boy?
Because he can't leave him alone.
The boy can still turn into one too.
What do you think?
Is it worth it for him to follow them at this point? Do you think he should sacrifice because he loves them so much?
Yeah.
Do you think he's going to die?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
I'm hearing her say, I'm going to dry up all the water so that if you follow us, you're going to die. And if you do follow us, what are they going to do?
Kill him.
And it says here, tomorrow she will make the rivers dry, but when you are thirsty, look for water in my trap.
Okay. Is it foolish to go on or not?
Mm-hmm. The mother wants the man to die, but maybe the kid doesn't.
Oh, why?
Because he's telling the man that tomorrow her mother's gonna take all the water, and when he's thirsty, he could follow their tracks.
Like a warning, huh?
Mm-hmm. What kinds of qualities? We've talked about, someone mentioned trust, friendly, funny, fun. I know one for me. You would hope that your friends would be truthful and honest. Do you like it when your friends are completely honest with you?
Yes.
Here's I saw like what would be an example, Teresa?
No, just something that you don't want to hear.
Like?
Talking about me. Just talking.
Yeah.
They don't like your attitude or something.
In the one subject of reading, that whole motivational factor, if something happened that I wasn't able to motivate with stickers or rewards or anything, it's just this process. All of a sudden they figured out, books, I can make them relevant. They're important to me. They can be a part of who I am. If you had just met someone today and then said, oh, Mom, Dad, I've been invited to stay overnight. Can I go ahead and stay?
It depends who it is.
Let's say you just met them today.
No.
He'll say no. Because he goes, you probably haven't, you haven't met them that well and you don't know how they might react.
Mm-hmm. Mom's supposed to know or know their moms.
Yeah,
or their families.
Mm-hmm. Their friend doesn't like that person and they tell them stuff about them.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the parents, they go, no, look how he dresses and look how his language. They probably too much bad words and all that. Who they hang around with. And they go, that might affect your future. I might say that. They go, it's a bad influence.
So you think maybe Sarah's dad has all of this going through his head when his little girl says, and Dad, they've invited me over tonight.
So is that like our protagonist, Ray, in a way?
Yeah.
I took a real risk with this last piece of literature.
What was it like meeting these new relatives?
I did it with my highest reading group. And they're about the 4th grade, 5th grade level. I selected a student who's in a group who reads about at the 2nd grade level, and I asked her to join the group. I thought she could bring a lot to the group in terms of her experiences and her background. She's part Supi and Hopi Indian, and the main character in our story decides it's time for him to find more about his heritage, and he decides to find his great-great-grandfather who he's never met before.
Wow, that's pretty powerful. What do you think is going through Ray's mind as his grandfather is saying, no, it's time to die?
He's scared because he doesn't want him to die.
Why?
Because he just barely knew him, so he wanted to know about his ancestors.
Anything else he might be feeling? I'm really pleased that I took the risk, because this young lady, who I said was decoding at a 2nd grade level, she did a beautiful job. She did better than I could have ever expected. Her contributions to the group were tremendous.
He wanted her to stay with him because he felt like that was his daughter.
I'm wondering how you elicit more language from the students to be able to have a good conversation.
Just by giving them the opportunity, the setting in which to have a thought, express it, and then work to express it more completely. And in terms of specific techniques, one of them was simply covering my mouth so that they could see that I wasn't going to be speaking, and I was looking at them, and I was interested in what they would have to say, and the expectation was there for them to fill in.
Maybe he does have to, because maybe they'll start treating him wrong.
Tell me what you mean by that, Rolando.
Because they treat the woman wrong, and maybe they'll start treating him wrong because he might act like an animal too. When he's a person, he might act like an animal. He might not treat him right, and he might turn all the rest of the people into buffaloes.
What do you guys think? Do you think that the man's family, the hunter's family, will be able to treat the buffaloes
maybe it doesn't say in his
with
book.
respect?
I don't think it doesn't say.
In drawing out language of children, I found it's very interesting in a transition class, and I've used IC in the class where children are transitioning from Spanish reading into English reading, and their oral language is not fully developed yet, but I still did IC lessons, and often I would do an IC lesson with different levels of language ability, purposely so that they could help one another.
Numbers. How to be kind.
Oh, so parents teach us those kind of things. Tell us more about that, Diana. How does your mother teach you to be kind?
Not fight with people at the park.
She teaches you how to get along with people?
Yeah. To share.
Teaches you to share.
To be nice.
To be nice. How did your mother say about being nice? How did she teach you that?
I think there's key terms, too. I know when I'm thinking about the questions, words like relate. How does this relate to you? How will this affect you? Even if they are, how do you think this is going to happen? What are the choices that the character can make? If you were in that situation, what would you do? How is it relevant to you? And even some of the lower level questions, I always try, the kids are very used to why. They know I'm going to hit them right back up. If they give me that one word, I'm going to hit them up with why. Why do you think that? What basis do you have for that? Do you think that the Indians and Sarah are friends yet?
Yeah. No.
Juan Carlos, you said no. Why would you say no?
Not yet. It's too fast. Like, just to become friends like that.
Maybe they're just trying to talk to each other.
Or they're friends, but they don't trust each other yet.
Mm-hmm. They're not good friends.
Okay.
How are they going to make this hunter one of them?
They put him in this teepee.
And that makes him a buffalo?
Yeah.
How could that be?
Because the lady cooked in here, and maybe she put because remember she was cooking for him? Maybe she put a spell in there or something.
No, there was that same thing.
It's the same as what?
See the spell.
Same thing on the second page.
See, it's a spell.
Why do you think it's the same teepee?
Not the same teepee, the same spell.
Oh,
the
I see.
See, it has the buffalo, and right here it has a buffalo.
So you think the same kind of magic is at work here?
I think every person that goes in here is going to turn into a buffalo.
We're asking them to support the responses, not just give yes or no, not just give a particular response without being able to substantiate, either finding it in the text or just based on their personal opinion, validating why they say what they say.
He told them that the people that lived there, they went to move somewhere else because of the land. The ground was too dry, so they couldn't grow their crops.
Yeah, they couldn't find crops.
So it kind of sounds like he's had a mini history lesson in here, hasn't he, throughout this whole experience? That's true. I didn't think about that.
When you look at the type of questioning that teachers typically do, the students know that the teacher has one answer in mind that he or she is looking for, and so what they end up doing is playing that guessing game of what is the teacher looking for, that known answer phenomenon. And what I see that just a tremendous difference with IC is that there isn't a right or wrong answer, and then it gives the students the confidence that they can think through something, they can give their own opinion.
As a teacher, it's hard to let go of the answer that you may have in your head or something that you want to get to you. It's hard to have that patience to let them find it for themselves and let the ebb and flow take them there.
Like pretend like all of us was big and Abraham didn't have the money and we shared money.
That's what a good friend would do, isn't it?
There was a word that came up, respect. You said he had respect. Why did he have respect for her instantly like that?
Love.
He had love? How did he have that instant love for her?
She came from the Buffalo Nation.
Okay.
She was not. She just not like them.
She
just did differently.
But he still felt this love and respect for this this person from a different kind of a culture?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How could that be? Why would that be?
The students should be operating in a conceptual space where what they're talking about, what they're discussing, what they're grappling to understand, they couldn't do by themselves. They couldn't do independently if they were just left to their own devices. But with the assistance of a skilled teacher who knows the right questions to ask, knows when to point out important parts of the text, knows when to be quiet, knows when to let the students talk, then they are functioning competently, grappling with and trying to talk about and try to come to some understanding of these complex ideas.
How about she acts like them, then her dad's going to ask her, how come you acting like them? You're supposed to act like
how you are.
Like you are and how your family is.
They do have a voice, and what they do have to say is important. By thinking about it, they also have to learn to say it and put it out there and deal with the fact that some people are going to refute it and some people are going to agree with you.
Mm-hmm. There are different opinions toward a variety of issues that they have a right to express, and other people have a right to express as well. And the growth comes out of interchanging those ideas. There's a bonding. Mm-hmm. There's a heightened sensitivity to one another's feelings and opinions that didn't exist before.
The teachers in this discussion met regularly to share their experiences and strategies practicing instructional conversations, as well as observing each other's lessons on videotape.
When you're first starting off with IC, you're not expected to implement all the elements. I mean, you're setting yourself up for failure if you think you're going to do that. You need that peer coaching. You need that the critiquing of the videos. You need the written and verbal feedback from your compadres or whatever in order for you to grow and to develop the skill and own it.
One of the things I learned the hard way when I first began instructional conversation was that a small group is necessary. I thought, well, this is great. I have good classroom control. I can have this conversational lesson with the whole class. No, that didn't work out because one person or two or three are the ones that answer all the questions, and you lose the others. So it really is necessary to have a small group. A lot of time that kids have to be independent. So I provided for and taught independent work. That doesn't mean busy work, independent work. That is meaningful independent work. And they appreciate the fact that it's another group's time to be with a teacher and be having this conversational lesson.
I think if you watch a lesson that is IC, you look at it, and I think for a lot of teachers, including myself, when I watched Renee's IC lesson, I sat back and I said, well, I do that. I do a lot of what she's doing. What is the big deal? Then I watched a directed lesson of Renee's. That was a key for me, watching a directed lesson versus an IC lesson. Then I sat back and said, wait a minute, I'm hanging out more in the directed lesson area than I am over here in IC.
Effective classroom discussions require practice on the part of both teacher and students with the goal of higher academic achievement. The IC model provides a framework for developing successful classroom conversations while preparing students to explore ideas and articulate values in an increasingly diverse society.
I think as our ideas about what the basics of education are changing, that IC fits in very, very well in terms of the listening and communicating skills. The whole literacy movement is right in line.
I've been able to work on social skills with the kids. I've been able to work on those critical thinking skills. The kids have increased their vocabulary. It's a great oral language development lessons for my kids who are second language acquisition learners. This is what has helped me. It's a strategy I've learned, and I've seen the effect. They enjoy it. I enjoyed it. It's something I'm going to continue using.